If you're buying a microphone for podcasting or streaming, you should definitely consider the Shure SM7B. It's one of my favorite microphones, and when it comes to broadcasting, it's somewhat of an industry standard. But make sure you watch the whole video, because this microphone is not for everyone. It has some serious drawbacks that you should be aware of before spending your whole budget on the mic, only to discover that you need to buy some additional accessories to get the most out of it. I'll leave links to everything that I mentioned in this video in the description below. Let's take a look at what comes inside the box. Inside, you'll find the microphone itself, 2 windscreens, and an instruction manual. This microphone is one of those things that when you pick it up, you instantly feel the build quality. It's got a nice weight to it and feels really rugged with its metal construction. There's a built-in shock mount that reduces the handling noise when readjusting the mic, which is really handy for podcasting and streaming. The adjustments make it possible to fine-tune the position of the microphone on the fly so that you and your guests can move around more comfortably. The SM7B has a frequency response that's tailored for a speaking voice, but it's actually very versatile. The frequency response ranges from 50 Hz to 20 kHz, with the option for a low roll-off and a presence boost in the high-mid frequencies. Right now, you're hearing the microphone with its default settings. There's a small dip in the low mids that reduces some of the mud, as well as a unique response in the high mids and highs that improves intelligibility of the signal without causing harsh S sounds by accentuating the sibilance too much. If you feel like there's too much low frequency energy or your voice is sounding boomy, then you can engage the low roll-off switch found right here in the back of the microphone. In addition to taming the boominess in the low end, it also helps to bring out the higher frequencies to help them cut through in a mix for music or commercial spots with music beds. The mid-range emphasis switch, or presence boost, gives you yet another way to bring out the most important frequencies for the human voice. This will help to accentuate the mid and high-mid frequencies, which improves the articulation of the voice and adds an airy quality. Here's the microphone again with the default settings. Here's the microphone with the low roll-off engaged. Here's the microphone with the mid-range emphasis engaged. And here's the microphone with both switches engaged. As you can hear, this mic gives you a lot of flexibility. When recording or streaming voice, it's really important to keep noise levels as low as possible. To help with that, you can use the polar pattern of the microphone to your advantage. The SM7B has a cardioid polar pattern, which means that it rejects sounds coming from behind the microphone. As I move off axis from the microphone, you'll hear that my voice gets quieter, especially in the high mid and high frequencies. And when I'm directly behind the microphone, you may struggle to hear me at all. Using the microphone's polar pattern to your advantage, you can point the mic toward you and away from any sources of noise. Not only that, but the polar pattern also helps to cut down the reverb and echo if you're working in a room with poor acoustics. And as you can hear, not every microphone is capable of doing that. Sometimes plosive sounds, like P's, B's, and T's, will create a little burst of air that hits the microphone capsule and results in a pop. If you take the windscreen off, you've really got to pay attention to your microphone technique. But with the windscreen, you don't really need to worry about it. If you still get pops even when using the windscreen, you can try using the larger windscreen that's also included. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. While you're streaming or podcasting, you and your guests are sure to be moving around and changing positions. And because of that, it's important to use a microphone that can be adjusted without causing a bunch of noise. Luckily, the shock mount that comes with the SM7B makes this really easy. These mics are designed to be used with microphone arms, so I would definitely recommend using a microphone arm instead of a regular boom stand. But as you can hear, the handling noise is kept to a minimum even when I'm moving the microphone. With any directional microphone, you'll get a bass boost the closer you move to the microphone. That's called the proximity effect. And that can be a good thing, especially if you're going for that radio DJ sound. But if you're not going for that sound, you can try to keep some distance between you and the microphone. Or with this mic, you can engage the low roll-off switch on the back. Let's listen to the sound quality at various distances. I'll match the level in post-production so that it's a fair test. This is the SM7B with the default settings from 1 inch away. This is the SM7B with the default settings from 6 inches away. This is the SM7B with the low roll-off engaged from about 1 inch away. And this is the SM7B with the low roll-off engaged from 6 inches away. Like I said in the beginning, this is one of my all-time favorite microphones for recording voice. It's got a natural sound right out of the box, but it can also be adjusted to tailor the sound to your unique voice. It also has excellent noise rejection and handling noise, two essential qualities of a broadcast mic. All in all, this is one of the first microphones I'd recommend for streaming and podcasting, but there are some things you should be aware of before spending your whole budget on the mic itself. First, this mic is definitely better when you use it with a microphone arm rather than a regular boom stand, so save some room in the budget for a microphone arm. Second, the XLR connector sometimes gets in the way depending on which stand you're using, so it might be worth picking up one of these extenders. I'll leave a link below. Lastly, and most importantly, this mic is notorious for needing a lot of gain from your microphone preamp. You should probably consider pairing this mic with an inline preamp like the Cloudlifter. If you're unsure if you need an inline preamp or not, check out this Audio University post that will help you decide. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to use those links below to support the channel. I'll see you in the next one.